It started with a simple dare. You and your friends were all gathered at a party, sitting around in a circle, sipping on cheap beer and passing around half-baked stories about creepy things you'd heard. The kind of thing people always claim to have experienced, but never actually do. You know the drill, until someone suggests the mirror. Ever heard of the 7-second rule? One of your friends asks, a mischievous grin on their face. You stand in front of a mirror, stare into it for 7 seconds, and then, well, they come. You snort, figuring it's just another overhyped game. But something about the way they said it felt different. They didn't look like they were joking. In fact, they looked almost terrified. Someone else spoke up. I tried it once. My reflection didn't move with me, like it did its own thing. But the weird part? When I turned away from the mirror, I heard it, following me. The group fell silent. A mix of nervous laughter and uneasy glances exchanged. You weren't scared. Not really. It's just a stupid superstition, right? But everyone was egging you on, daring you to be the first one to try it. So you did. The bathroom was dark, the only light coming from the dim bulb above the sink. The mirror was old, cracked in one corner, with streaks running across it. You took a deep breath and stepped in front of it, your face illuminated just enough for you to see the reflection staring back at you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The seconds felt like an eternity, the air growing thick with something you couldn't place. The mirror's surface seemed to ripple for just a second, like something was inside it, trying to push through. 7. You flinched, and just for a split second, you swore your reflection didn't move exactly the same as you. But when you blinked, everything looked normal. You let out a nervous laugh and turned away, relieved that it was nothing. A stupid game, nothing more. That's when you heard it. A soft sound, faint at first, coming from behind you. You froze, heart pounding. You turned back slowly, and for just a moment, your reflection seemed to smirk. The corner of its mouth twisted in a way that made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. But that wasn't you. Your reflection had changed. Its eyes were darker, colder, more alive somehow. And as you stood there, staring back at it, you realized it was staring at you too, watching you. Suddenly, the bathroom felt too small, too cramped. You turned to leave, but the door wouldn't budge. Panic began to set in as you pulled at the handle, but it was stuck, frozen in place. The air around you seemed to hum with something dark and suffocating. That's when you heard it again. The whisper, soft but distinct. Let me out. Your heart stopped. You whipped around to look at the mirror once more, your breath caught in your throat. Your reflection was grinning now. Not you, but it. It was grinning at you, and that thing, the reflection, was pressing against the glass, its fingers tapping against the surface, as if trying to reach through. With your pulse racing, you yanked the door open. The hallway outside was dim and quiet, but your mind raced, your thoughts spinning. You didn't look back. You couldn't. You rushed into the living room, but when you saw your friends, the words caught in your throat. They were all staring at you, their faces pale, their eyes wide with terror. What's wrong? You asked, your voice shaky. One of your friends pointed behind you, their face frozen in horror. You turned slowly, your stomach dropping. There you were, standing in the hallway, staring back at them with that same twisted, cold grin. Your reflection, it was still in the mirror, and it wasn't you anymore. It was something else, something that knew you, and it was waiting. You ran.